Hey everyone, welcome to another Death Battle reaction. We got ourselves Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna, Marvel versus DC. I'm very curious about this Death Battle because both of the characters are so powerful. I'm almost at a 50-50 stand hold between both of them. And for me, on my end, I'm more leaning towards, only reason why I'm leaning more towards Scarlet Witch is because I'm more familiar with her. But I am familiar with Zatanna as well, but it's like, I know both of them are so powerful.
Me personally, I'm a little more fond of Zatanna because I think it was a Justice League. I think it was Young Justice. She was in that show. I played her in Injustice 1 in the video game, so I'm a little more partial to Zatanna, so I'm going to be on her. And also, just a lot of people are just counting her out. She's definitely the underdog in this match.
The Scarlet Witch, Marvel's Crimson Queen of Chaos.
Zatanna, DC's magnificent mistress of magic.
There are those who wield the mystic arts like gods to reshape creation to their whims.
And there are those who just like to put on a hell of a show. Either way, don't mess with them if you know what's good for you. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Since it's not 3D.
Oh, it's not gonna be 3D? No!
Yeah, it's too expensive.
The fabric of reality is in fact more delicate than we might dare to wonder. Imagine every single iota of it, every star, galaxy, universe, all within the grasp of a single mortal woman. To control at her whim. Imagine the danger we're all in if you piss her off.
We don't have to, because her name is Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. As a kid, she and her brother Pietro were poor Romani, who were lucky enough to be turned into super-powered freaks by the High Evolutionary.
Unable to control her magical abilities, it wasn't long before Wanda lost control and was branded a witch.
Until who would show up but the mutant master of magnetism himself, Magneto. Definitely giving off some big dad energy there.
So, to return Magneto's kindness, she and Pietro joined his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Great name there, Magneto. Solid branding.
Yeah.
It wasn't long before she traded her supervillain for a membership with the Avengers, which might have been a bit too much for poor Wanda because she definitely drew the superpower short stick.
By waving her hands, Wanda could create small random events known as hexes, subtly altering the probability of any event happening.
That's a cool way of saying she could do like one magic-y thing per fight and then be totally useless. An energy blast here, some telekinesis there, a force field if she's feeling frisky. Not exactly the same poop as, say, the God of Thunder or the Jolly Green World Breaker.
She learned to slow and stop time, drain and absorb energy, duplicate herself and others, teleport to different dimensions, and even strip others of their powers entirely.
It was almost as if there was more to Wanda than just being some random science experiment. Let's ask our resident expert on the deepest trenches of character history. Jocelyn, if you will.
In reality, Wanda's powers weren't entirely the result of the High Evolutionary, nor was she the mutant daughter of Magneto, as he's claimed. Her powers weren't just some simple hexes. She might as well have been a god. Until now, she had merely been dipping her toes into the vast ocean known as chaos magic. Though her powers may have seemed to be the byproduct of science, they were in reality the gift of the Lovecraftian elder god Cthon, who attempted to turn Wanda into his future vessel.
Reminds me of my summers by the sea with old Uncle Yogg-Sothoth.
In time, Wanda discovered she could alter the probability of anything she could think of, turning a mathematical impossibility into an absolute certainty, and vice versa. Wanda's powers kept growing and growing, turning her into a being strong enough to rival even the mightiest of gods. Like, literally, Wanda's chaos magic is counterpart to the Phoenix Force, the embodiment of cosmic order. You know, that fiery space chicken that can destroy the universe?
I heard
Wanda fought it and even briefly erased it from existence.
At her height, the Scarlet Witch achieved total control over energy, the weather, the elements, your mind, your body, your soul, all of time, all of matter, and all of reality. She can wipe you from existence with a thought and rend the very fabric of the universe as though it were tissue paper. She may have the power of a god, but she's still stuck with a human's body. That she's like
three gemstones
she
or whatever.
Also survived being shot with a black matter bullet capable of, and I quote, world-shattering energy. So there's that.
She does technically need to be able to think of a spell in order to get it to happen, so she could theoretically be blitzed. But she's also blocked Thor's galaxy-crossing hammer, kept up with dudes like X-Man who can fight within plank time, and even amp her own speed beyond the concept of speed herself.
Despite being far and away the mightiest among Earth's mightiest heroes, Wanda resented the pressure of her incredible power. She actually wanted a quiet life as a wife and a mother.
But because no one in comics is allowed to have a happily ever after, that life was taken from her by literal Satan. Not the last time he'd do this, too. Wanda snapped and she took the multiverse with her.
By tapping into an inconceivable and unknowable pool of energy known as the Life Force, Wanda rewrote all of reality, creating a new universe where life was just how she wanted it.
No matter whose lives she had to change, in this House of M, she had her family back, but at the cost of her sanity.
And it wasn't long before it all came crashing down around her. Once her family and friends discovered the lie of their new lives and turned against her, she uttered 3 fateful words and erased nearly all of mutant kind. No more mutants.
Wanda weaved magic throughout all of existence, created cracks across reality which spread throughout the omniverse and threatened to annihilate
why bother discovering the
entirety of Marvel's infinite cosmology. Everything that ever was.
Shit got dark, and while Wanda tried to keep her powers in check since then, that threat is always there. But honestly, that sounds more like a problem for anyone who's stupid enough to get in her way.
Magnificent Zatanna, for never was there a greater professor of prestidigital performance.
AKA magic! Except Zatanna's spells aren't just smoke and mirrors, they're the real deal, so you're really getting your money's worth.
She learned everything she knew from her father, Giovanni Zatara, who put his powers to good use as one of DC's very first superheroes.
Descendant of Leonardo da Vinci, Nostradamus. Good lord.
Everything he knows about escape artistry. He debuted the same issue as Superman, and the young Zatanna was more than happy to serve as his assistant, learning everything he knew about the cutthroat world of entertainment. And Cape shit too, but former's way worse.
She inherited her father's incredible mystical abilities as well.
Or because he was left-handed.
How difficult must that be to write in backwards?
Yeah, that's another theory. If you hate fun.
I'm left-handed,
apparently big-brained enough that she has no problem speaking backwards at the drop of a hat. Like when this one dude kept reversing time in the middle of her sentences. She started speaking in palindromes so that she'd still be speaking backwards no matter what. I mean, you know what they say with, go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hug.
With her magic, Zatanna has bent the laws of reality to her whims. Even wiped people from existence with a single word.
It might not seem
basically,
obvious from that hokey
Scarlet
magic castle getup, but Zatanna is one of the most powerful sorcerers in DC. Like the time she battled the Time Tailor Zor, an old enemy of the Spectre.
I wouldn't say 2.0, I would say the Scarlet Witch of DC.
Divine wrath.
In order to defeat an opponent of such unimaginable power, Zatanna focused her magical might into shattering the boundaries of reality. She reached out beyond the very comic panels themselves and pulled Zor's entire magical universe down around him. She literally handled all of reality like it was a sheet of paper
the fourth wall.
And crumpled it in her hands.
That might seem completely incomprehensibly impossible to us, but it's all a matter of belief. Literally, as long as Zatanna believes she can do something with her magic, she'll do it.
As she puts it, her magic is essentially asserting one reality, then replacing it with another. This is similar to other magical characters like Dr. Fate and Green Lantern, whose powers have been stated to work the exact same way.
But it's not like any rando can do magic by wishing on a star. Zatanna is genetically predisposed to this kind of magical reality warping. Her mom was in actuality a homo magi, a subrace of humans that are naturally adept at magic.
So it's no wonder that Zatanna became an invaluable
member of
both the Justice League of America and Justice League Dark. The Shadow the Hedgehog version, basically.
Zatanna harnessed an entire year's worth of sunlight into a single energy blast, created ruptures across all of space and time throughout the DC multiverse, and has even claimed she's as powerful as Superman himself. Pre-Crisis Superman, in case you were wondering. Her only limit is her imagination and will. In fact, her backward speaking is mostly a stagecraft tradition meant to boost her concentration.
In a pinch, she can cast a spell with a single thud, and I doubt anyone's winning a quick draw with her. She's matched superheroes like Martian Manhunter, who scanned every mind on Earth in a blank instant. Or how about Dr. Fate, whose magic traveled across the universe at the completely immeasurable velocity of God?
Zatanna has fended off countless reality-shattering threats like the Eldritch Upside-Down Man, Primordial Darkness, that is evil incarnate, and the Void Beyond Creation, Prolaya.
This shadow goop lady ate all of DC
somehow
comics,
puts up with Constantine.
all of creation, everything. Okay. Gods, demons, rabbits, and spandex, everything. And Zatanna's magic was strong enough to hold her back.
And then, after secretly implanting Swamp Thing inside Prolaya, she weaved a spell within him to literally regrow all of reality back in seconds.
Zatanna tricked to be older than God, and then blew her ass up.
I don't think people realize how powerful Swamp Thing is.
Such is the almighty power of Zatanna's will. Should it falter, though, or should her focus be disrupted, it could all come crashing down like a house of cards. Belief is a fragile thing, after all, and her powers were weakened for a time after she lost belief in herself.
And she's definitely got one big weak point. She's a huge daddy's girl.
Despite her amazing career, she has struggled within herself to live up to her father's legacy, especially after his heroic death.
And this MFer has died a lot of times, so Z's therapy can't be cheap, especially after dating John Constantine. Oh, I can just smell the lager and self-loathing from here. No, oh wait, that's me.
Questionable romance aside, Zatanna is a consummate professional raised on one singular principle. The show must go on. All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
What about you?
With magic!
I feel like I would again have to go with Scarlet Witch. Because from the one thing I got the sounds of it, I feel like they were trying to say Zatanna does have limits compared to Scarlet Witch.
Just to be on the opposite side, I'll go with Zatanna. I just think that she's a little more cool-headed. Is kind of what I got from her. But that's so even that this could go either way.
Oh, thank you. And for my first trick.
Oh, hello.
Ta-da! You, what sort of 2-bit sorceress do you think you are? 2-bit?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps I was being generous.
I'm not.
Oh,
damn.
All part of the show, folks.
Bunny.
Don't kill them.
Turn them into cards.
No.
Superman? What the hell?
Whoa. Cheating.
That is a little bit, yeah. Oh, because she can make people at will.
Yeah, I forgot they could do that.
Yeah.
Freaking Avengers versus Justice League in here.
That's interesting. Down.
Oh no.
Do you know the difference between you and I?
No, I don't. No.
Oh.
Well, I think the difference is...
Uh-oh.
Reputation! And
okay.
I know a trick when I see one.
Okay.
Uh-oh, fourth wall.
Oh, yep, fourth wall.
Never knew she was kidding. I should have just said that. That's why I think she's gonna win, because she just breaks the fourth wall.
Can't run forever.
Oh.
Now make like a magician and disappear.
The juggling universes.
Yep. Don't break them.
Oh my God.
Wanda, chill out.
Yeah.
Oh, six naked no! No more! No!
She's pissed.
Yeah, she got pissed.
He did. Okay.
A disappearing act was the first thing Dad ever taught me. And for my final trick,
I think it's over.
No more witches.
I think it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
And that's
Sorry,
our
dude.
show, ladies and
Dang.
Damn.
I am not disappointed.
Yeah.
Now that's a magic
I'm
trick
not
that's
either.
to die for.
Analyzing this matchup was like walking on a tightrope. It could fall either way at any point.
Because at the end of the day, both these ladies
Yeah, this
could
was
do
super close.
practically anything with their magic.
Yeah.
All they had to do was think and shit would happen. They were totally even. At her peak, Wanda was able to threaten the stability of all creation.
And at Zatanna's best, she was able to hold back Prolaya, who could do the exact same thing. And despite some differences, the omniversal cosmologies of Marvel and DC Comics are roughly equivalent in size and scope. All that was left for us to look at was their weaknesses.
While both were as powerful as one another, Wanda needed to tap into the light force to reach that pinnacle, and doing so threatened her sanity.
Let's take a closer look at the events surrounding House of M, where Wanda's powers were at their maximum.
Despite admitting that she was way stronger, Doctor Strange managed to get the best of Wanda with a cool head and a spell that briefly knocked her out cold.
His wits against her mental instability were enough
you
to
pointed
turn
that
the
out too.
To be clear, this instability definitely wouldn't affect
Yeah.
her power. She was still
Zatanna
strong
has more of a
Didn't
stable
know if it
mind.
would play that much of a factor,
alternate
honestly.
reality, and then erase it just as easily. What it would do is
I didn't
leave
know
her
it would
open.
be that big a
Also,
factor,
take
honestly.
her No More Mutant spell.
Yeah.
As insanely powerful as it was to affect the whole of Marvel's creation, it wasn't entirely successful. There was still a tiny portion of Earth's mutant population left unaffected, likely due to interference from Strange and Emma Frost.
Against Zatanna, who is just as strong and not losing her mind, she wouldn't be able to afford that kind of lapse, even for an instant.
On the other hand, Zatanna has managed to maintain her willpower fighting foes just as strong as the Scarlet Witch, so she didn't have the same kind of exploitable weakness.
And remember, she doesn't actually need to say her spells backwards.
It helps with her concentration, but all her spells come from her mental impulses, just like Wanda. She's consistently pulled off non-verbal spells in the past, even against beings as strong as Prolaya.
In the end, Z definitely had enough experience fighting smart and keeping on her toes to hang with Wanda long enough to get in a finishing blow.
The winner is Zatanna.
Jeez.
That's some off her. Oh my god.
Death Battle is
That was
back,
good. I
and
liked
launched
it.
a
That was
brand new
real
membership
good.
program for our YouTube channel.
Who do we got
Directly
next?
supporting our
Next time.
Jonathan
JoJo?
Joestar? Yeah, and that dude.
From
Jonathan
Demon
Joestar
Slayer.
versus...
For
Go
the
ahead.
death battle, again, I am not disappointed with that outcome. Because like we pointed out, and even with how they pointed out, they were so evenly matched. From what it sounded like, what it really came down to for the most part was their level-headedness, and then and then not only that, Zatanna, how she took on a powerful being, almost as powerful as Scarlet Witch, was able to take it down. You know,
it was a good fight. I definitely enjoyed it. I just figured, I just didn't think her being more level-headed would be the biggest factor in this fight, but it just goes to show that the devil was definitely in the details. But this was still a good fight. This was still super close. My only real complaint, the 3D fights could have been a little better, and I just wish it was. I wish it was like. I know it's not in their budget to do 3D all the time, but I feel like this battle kind of warranted that. But I still enjoyed it for what it was.